Hi everyone, I'm Jack, and today we're diving into some cool tips for better English listening.
I'm Elena, and I'm here to help you guys see how these tips can really make a difference.
We get a lot of English learners saying, hey, we understand you guys on the podcast, but then movies or real conversations are so hard.
It's like you can read a book, but understanding a conversation in a cafe is a whole different thing, right?
Totally. But no worries, we've got 5 simple steps to boost your listening, making learning English way more fun.
We'll break down each step and give you practical advice you can actually use.
Ready to jump in? Let's start with step 1. Pick something you actually enjoy.
Sounds simple, but it's crucial. If you're bored, your brain just won't focus.
Right, if you're genuinely into something, your brain's like, okay, I'm paying attention, and you remember things better.
Think about what you love in your own language, like hobbies, interests, even guilty pleasures.
Maybe you're into cooking shows, music, podcasts about history.
Chances are you can find something similar in English, and the good news is you don't need to start with the hardest stuff.
It's like training for a marathon. You wouldn't start with 26 miles on day 1, right?
Stem for listening, start small, then level up.
Beginners could try Disney movies, kids shows, or songs with easy lyrics.
Then as you get better, try a sitcom with subtitles or a podcast on a familiar topic.
Find that balance where it's challenging but not overwhelming.
And hey, it's okay to re-listen or re-watch things each time you'll pick up more.
All right, so you've got your fun content. What's next?
Step 2, active listening.
Yeah.
This is where you really engage, not just hear the words.
Imagine your ears are muscles. They need a workout to get stronger.
Lots of exercises you can try. One is watching short videos, first without subtitles.
Try to get the main idea, then turn subtitles on to check yourself.
This helps you pinpoint the words you miss and see how English was written.
Another awesome technique. Shadowing, basically imitating what you hear.
Try to match the speaker's pronunciation and even the tone of their voice.
It's like a double workout, training your pronunciation and listening together.
You can even shadow with our animated subtitles. Try keeping up as the words appear on the screen.
So we've picked cool content, we're actively listening, but what if there are words we don't know?
Step 3 comes in, timestamp and guess. Become a language detective.
Say you're watching something and bam, a word you don't understand. Just note the time and keep watching.
Later, go back to that time and guess the word's meaning based on everything around it.
This makes you focus on specific parts instead of getting lost in the whole thing.
And you build that crucial skill of figuring out meaning from context.
Like a puzzle, the words around a tricky part can give you clues.
For example, someone's talking about a new phone, then says, back in the day, before mentioning old rotary phones.
You can probably guess they're comparing new and old technology, right?
Exactly. Those context clues help you understand new words without even needing a dictionary.
Okay, so now step 4. Context is king. It's all about how things connect in a conversation.
It's like a good story. Each scene, each word builds the overall meaning.
Understanding that context makes a huge difference in listening, like putting a puzzle together.
You might not recognize individual pieces, but once they fit, the big picture is clear.
That phone example, back in the day, hinted at the past, and rotary phones confirmed they were comparing old and new.
By noticing those clues, you're basically doing detective work with your brain.
It's awesome. Once you get the hang of it, your listening confidence just shoots up.
All right, last but not least, step 5, listen again. Sounds simple, but it's super effective.
After putting in the effort to understand, listening again is so rewarding. You'll be amazed by how much more you get.
It's like watching a favorite movie again. You pick up on new details, you appreciate it more.
Plus, it gives your brain that aha moment of realizing how much you've learned.
Oh, and a bonus tip, don't stress about every single word. Sometimes just get the main idea, the gist.
Like skimming a news article, you don't need to read every word to get the point.
Focus on what you do understand, be proud of yourself, and keep practicing.
You'll be surprised how far you can go with the right approach.
Okay, so we've covered some great strategies, choosing content, active listening.
But what about when the speech gets faster or more difficult, like it just sounds like gibberish?
Yeah, that happens to everyone learning English, but there are things you can try.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, one tip is to focus on the stressed words, the ones that carry the most meaning.
So I don't need to understand every single word.
Exactly. Just try to pick out those key words that give you the main message.
I get it, like listening to a song.
Right, you focus on the melody, the main lyrics, not every little sound.
That makes sense. It's less scary that way.
Another thing is intonation, the way the speaker's voice rises and falls.
Like when asking a question, your voice goes up at the end.
Exactly. Intonation tells you about the speaker's emotions, what they really mean.
So it's not just the words, but how they say them.
Exactly. And then there's the power of chunks, groups of words that go together.
Like, I'm going to. Often sounds like gonna when people speak fast.
Yes. Recognizing these chunks helps you understand faster.
It's like learning to read whole words instead of each letter separately.
And transcripts can be really helpful for this. You can see how words are grouped.
That's a good idea. Seeing the words written down helps me hear them better.
Okay, so now let's talk about vocabulary. It's like the building blocks of language.
Right. More words, easier it is to understand, but it feels like a huge task.
It doesn't have to be. Start with words related to your interests.
So if I love cooking, I should learn words about food, recipes, stuff like that.
Exactly. And watching movies, TV shows, is a fun way to learn new words.
Because you see them in context and you hear different accents, ways of speaking.
And remember, rewatching familiar movies can help too. You already know the story.
So you can just focus on catching new words and phrases.
It's like having built-in subtitles in your brain.
That's so cool. But I guess all this needs patience, right?
Definitely. Learning a language takes time and effort. There's no magic trick.
Yeah, like learning a musical instrument, you need to practice consistently.
Exactly. You don't become a pro overnight. Same with English listening.
Some days you feel like you're making progress, other days, not so much.
Totally normal. Just keep practicing. Don't give up.
Yeah, every good English speaker started where we are now. They had challenges too.
So be kind to yourself, celebrate your wins, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Okay, we've got content, active listening, context, vocabulary, what else?
Now it's time to train your ears to recognize the sounds of English.
Sounds kind of technical.
It's because in fast speech, words can blend or even disappear.
Right, I've noticed that.
But if you understand how English sounds work, especially when words connect,
You can start to untangle those jumbled parts.
it's like learning the secret code of spoken English.
Cool. So how do I do that?
Practice is key. Listen to native speakers, try to copy their pronunciation.
Okay, so not just learning sounds on their own, but how they fit together naturally.
Yes, a good exercise is focusing on minimal pairs, words with just one sound difference.
Like ship and sheep.
Exactly. Practicing those trains your ear to hear those tiny but important differences.
It's like sharpening your listening skills.
And remember, even native speakers have different accents, ways of pronouncing things.
So it's okay if I hear something different from what I'm used to.
Absolutely. It's all part of the fun, the diversity of English.
True, so I should see those variations as a good thing, a chance to learn more.
Exactly. Now, while all this technical stuff is important, let's not forget the fun part.
Right. Listening shouldn't be a chore.
It should be enjoyable. And a big part of that is choosing content you truly like.
Whether it's music, movies, podcasts, whatever sparks your interest.
It's like finding a book you can't put down. You're so engaged you forget you're even reading.
Totally. And when you're enjoying it, you learn without even realizing it.
So experiment. Find what works for you. Maybe a podcast while working out, movies with subtitles, whatever clicks.
Often so, make it a part of your daily routine and have fun with it.
Okay, we've talked about improving your listening skills, but don't forget to check your progress.
Like checking your progress at the gym.
Exactly. You wouldn't lift the same weights forever without trying something harder.
So I need to see if I'm ready for the next level.
Exactly. Maybe you can understand simple conversations now.
And now it's time to try faster dialogues or different accents.
There are tests like TOEFL, IELTS that measure your listening skills.
Right, they test your understanding in all sorts of situations, like lectures or casual chats.
But even without a test, there are ways to check your progress.
Maybe try a movie without subtitles, or listen to a podcast and take notes.
The point is to challenge yourself. Step outside your comfort zone a bit.
And it's okay to mess up. That's how we learn, right?
Totally. Everyone makes mistakes. Okay, so we've covered a lot, but one last thing.
Ooh, what is it?
Visualize yourself understanding everything. Fast conversations, movies without subtitles, chatting easily with native speakers.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
The more you imagine it, the more likely you are to get there. It's like a map for your brain.
Interesting.
So try it, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and picture yourself reaching your English goals.
Okay, I can try that.
Might sound silly, but it really works. And most importantly, have fun.
Yeah, that's key.
Learning English should be an adventure, not a chore. Enjoy the process.
I like that. An adventure.
So keep things fun, stay motivated, and keep practicing.
And we'll keep getting better.
Well, I hope you guys feel inspired to take your listening to the next level.
I know I do. It's been really helpful.
Remember, choose content you like, listen actively, Pay attention to context and vocabulary.
And don't be afraid to try harder things, right?
Exactly. And be patient with yourself. Celebrate every win. You're on a great journey.
Definitely, it's a journey.
We can't wait to see where it takes you. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep exploring the world of English.
And most of all, have fun with it.
We'll be back soon with more language deep dives. Until then, happy listening, everyone.
See you next time.